Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect 2. Now I just wanted to point out one more thing that I kind of forgot to mention before. This is Binder, and when I started doing my scanning, you see on the right hand side just under scanner results it says moderate. When I started it said rich. The more you scan, it will actually show and reflect how many resources you still have yet to actually obtain from any particular planet. And if it's really worth to go hunting down every last bit. It's still worth it to check out every planet, but in this particular case, you know, it'll tell you, alright, there's not so many resources here anymore, so it's time to move on. That way you don't just keep trying to hunt for every last square inch on the planet. Anyway, it's time to go to Omega. And it's an asteroid. Built in the mined-out husk of a metallic asteroid, Omega has been a haven for criminals, terrorists, and malcontents for thousands of years. At times, the station has lain idle and abandoned for centuries, only to be reactivated by a new group of outlaws seeking a fresh start. The space station's original elegant design has given way to haphazard expansion by scrabbling factions of every species. There is no central government or unifying authority on Omega, and nobody can recall a time there ever was one. And that's not entirely true, but it is and it isn't. It looks like a jellyfish. A glowing, angry, mechanical jellyfish. Yes, thank you, loading screen. And then it's going to ask us who I want to take with me. And I do have Kasumi available, but I think I'm going to hold off on her for now. I think. She is useful to have on board, but yeah, this is a pretty good team for now. And I don't really have to adjust anything here, so we're good.
Welcome to Omega. You're new here, aren't you? I can always tell. Allow me to... Oh, hello, Mocklin. I was just...
Leave, Fargate. Now.
Oh, of course, Mocklin. Whatever she wants.
Huh.
Blasted scavengers. Welcome to Omega, Shepard.
You know who I am?
Of course. We had you tagged the moment you entered the Terminus systems. You're not as subtle as you think.
Or not
Aria
necessarily.
wants to know what brings a dead Spectre to Omega. I suggest you go to Afterlife now and present yourself.
Aria, huh?
Cut the attitude. I'm not here to cause problems for Omega.
Things explode around you, Shepard. You can't blame Aria for keeping an eye on you. Afterlife now.
Well,
I'm receiving quarantine warnings about the slums where Dr. Morden Solus runs the clinic. Anticipate resistance at the transport station. I have also accessed messages between mercenary groups regarding plans to deal with the Archangel. There's a recruiting station at Afterlife that may have information on him.
huh. Huh, and there's this guy over here.
Please.
Shut it.
Ooh.
Please. You have to help me.
No one said you could talk, jackass.
You Zaeed Masani?
Yeah, that's me. You must be Commander Shepard. We have a galaxy to save.
And if his voice sounds familiar, it should. At the very least, from my own Let's Plays, he's done, what, freaking every other voice. He was Murdoch in Red Cliff in Dragon Age Origins, as well as Harrowmont. And he's got quite a few other... Oh yeah, he was, Oh, why am I blanking on his name? The, guy that helped us at Vigil's Keep. Seneschal Verrill, that's what it was. So yeah, this voice actor, sadly, Robin Sachs has passed away since recording in this game. But yeah, he's got a very good reputation, a good repertoire, so to speak. Anyway.
I assume you've been briefed?
I've done my homework. Cerberus sent me everything I needed to know.
My contacts told me we're picking up one man, not two.
Batarian delinquent. Pissed off someone rich enough to hire me to go after him. And for my bring him in alive rates even.
Please, I didn't do it.
I said shut it. Tried to lead me on a chase all over the systems. He should have known better. These people always run to Omega.
What's gonna happen to him?
I'm gonna turn him in for the bounty. Don't much care what happens after that.
I see.
What's your relationship with Cerberus?
Easy. Cerberus is paying me a lot of money to help you on your mission. That's the long and short.
Not many mercs would take a suicide mission for the pay.
Most mercs don't get an offer like the one Cerberus sent me. This mission doesn't sound like good business, but your elusive man can move a lot of credits.
Well. Alright, so this gives you a pretty good idea of what sort of character we're dealing with here.
Good to have you, Zaeed. We have a lot to do.
That's what they tell me. I assume the elusive man told you about our arrangement.
He mentioned there was a deal, but...
No. I guess he decided to leave that information out of the dossier.
Good thing I asked. Picked up a mission a little while back, just before I signed on with Cerberus. Thought you might be interested. You heard the name Vito Santiago? He's the head of the Blue Suns. Runs the whole organization. Seems he recently captured an Eldfell Ashland refinery on Zoya and is using their workers for slave labor. The company wants it dealt with.
Sure.
I'll make sure we get that done.
Good. Get it out of the way so we can concentrate on being big goddamn heroes. I better turn this thing in before it starts to stink. I'll be locked and loaded next time you're ready to get some killing done.
Well, that's pleasant. Warning, low power, huh? Alright. Bring firearms and antihistamines, talking about Zoria. Alright, so, there's quite a bit to actually explore here on Omega. It's basically the new Citadel, in some ways, because you got a lot more to explore here than you actually do on the Citadel, in some ways.
Omega. What a piss hole. At least it keeps you on your toes. I've had to come here on business before. I feel like I need a shower afterward, in addition to normal decontamination.
Well, okay, that's lovely. And by the way, when you have members in your party, you always have an opportunity to chat with them when they have, much like in Mass Effect 1, when they have like a little blue circle square thingy on certain areas. It'll usually alert you to when you need to talk to them, or when they want to talk.
Come on, let me in.
Oh, an Elcor bouncer, huh?
Ari's expecting me.
Right.
Go on in.
We were expecting you. You'd be inside.
And that's kind of a good point, because that just allowed me to get in, because she is actually expecting Shepard.
What are you looking at?
Don't you have something better to do than pick fights with people you don't know?
No, just the ones who get in my face.
You see my gun. Do you really want to do this?
Fine. You're off the hook. For now. See you around.
You see my gun. Do you really want to do this? And that's where you really want to have your Paragon and possibly Renegade up, depending on what you want to pull off. So this is the Afterlife. Yep, that's right, it's another bar. With more Asari dancers. Anybody here seen my kid? And there's a Merc recruiter. We'll talk with him in just a bit. There's the lower level. We'll go there in a bit, too.
You want to talk? Talk to Aria.
But we are being pointed to talk with Aria, and it's not a wise idea to keep Aria waiting.
That's close enough.
Okay, put the guns down, jeez.
Stand still.
If you're looking for weapons, you're not doing a very good job.
Can't be too careful with dead specters. That could be anyone wearing your face.
I was told you're the person to talk to if I have questions.
They're clean.
Depends on the questions.
You run Omega?
I am Omega. But you need more. Everyone needs more something, and they all come to me. I'm the boss, CEO, queen, if you're feeling dramatic. It doesn't matter. Omega has no titled ruler and only one rule. Don't fuck with Aria.
Well, that's a pretty good introduction to her. And by the way, she's not boasting. She's just telling the truth here.
I like it. Easy to remember.
If you forget, someone will remind you.
And then I toss your sorry ass out the nearest airlock.
So, what can I do for you?
Well, we are looking for at least a few answers here, but let's see.
I'm trying to track down Archangel.
You and half of Omega. You want him dead too?
Why is everyone after him?
He thinks he's fighting on the side of good. There is no good side to Omega. Everything he does pisses someone off. It's catching up to him.
Just the kind of guy I'm looking for.
Really? Well, aren't you interesting? You're gonna make some enemies teaming up with Archangel. That's assuming you can get to him. He's in a bit of trouble right now.
What kind of trouble?
The local merc groups have joined forces to take him down. They've got him cornered, but it sounds like they're having trouble finishing him off. They've started hiring anybody with a gun to help them.
Sounds like that might be our ticket in.
They're using a private room for recruiting. Just over there. I'm sure they'll sign you up.
What can you tell me about Archangel?
Not as much as I'd like. He showed up here several months ago and started causing all sorts of problems. If you make your own laws, which everyone here does, he makes life difficult. He's reckless and idealistic. But he seems to know enough to stay clear of me.
Reckless and idealistic. That sounds familiar.
Which merc groups are after Archangel?
All of them?
Blue Suns, Eclipse, Blood Pack. They're Omega's major players. Unless they're at war, you'll never see them together. But one thing they hate more than each other is Archangel.
Do you hate Archangel?
I don't have time for hate. But I distrust them all equally. For now, I'm happy just to let them kill each other.
I appreciate the help.
See if you still feel that way when the mercs realize you're here to help him.
I'm looking for Morden Solus. Do you know where I can find him?
The Solarian doctor? Last I heard, he was trying to help plague victims in the quarantine zone. I always liked Morden. He's as likely to heal you as he is to shoot you.
What can you tell me about him?
Used to be part of the Solarian Special Tasks Group. He's brilliant. And dangerous. Just don't get him talking. He never shuts up. If you really need to find him, take a shuttle to the quarantine zone. No guarantee they'll let you in, of course.
Interesting. That was quite a spark of respect for the Solarian.
So you must know what's what on Omega.
Everything that's worth knowing. I don't usually give it out freely. Information is power. Mundane things you can find yourself. Take a walk in a back alley or buy one of the mercs a drink. Better yet, talk to the entertainers. They give great tours. Just don't waste my time.
Sounds fair.
Tell me how you got set up here.
That's as privileged as information gets. I have many friends and enemies I keep at varying distances. I don't count you among either. We'll see how useful you prove.
Fair enough.
Short answer, mind your own damn business.
Sure.
One scan and we're straight to business. People are usually more concerned about who I am.
Your death was downplayed, but hardly what I call a secret. I had to make sure it was really you. You could have been anyone, anything. Whatever you need will come out on its own. I'm curious, but Omega doesn't really care about you.
Maybe I'll come back later.
Maybe I'll be here.
Alright, so... she's actually very serious about the don't fuck with Aria rule. I really, really cannot encourage enough to not fuck with Aria. Helena Blake?
Commander Shepard? Is that you? I'd heard you were dead. I'm Helena Blake. We met a few years ago. I don't expect you'd remember. You removed 2 criminal warlords from power and persuaded me to retire. I'll never forget it.
What brings you to Omega?
What brings anyone to Omega? Opportunity, success, failure, all of the above? I find this place suits me. I can bring it a certain air of civility, I suppose.
And now you're on Omega. Once a criminal, always a criminal, eh?
Oh no, Commander. I retired. I know better than to go back on my word with you. You convinced me to turn my life around. I'm a social worker now, believe it or not.
A social worker on Omega?
That seems like a hopeless job in a place like this.
Quite the opposite, actually. This place needs it more than most. Doing the good work in a place like this requires that one understand how things truly work, which makes me uniquely qualified.
Yeah.
That's more noble than I expected.
Noble? No. It's just that someone came along a few years ago and made me see the error of my ways. You convinced me that I could use my contacts and skills for things other than smuggling and exploitation. I thank you for that.
Well, that's actually good to hear.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're keeping out of trouble.
Thank you. This is all to your credit, Commander.
I have to go.
Of course. You must have more important things to do.
Yeah. Mostly. And there is a lot to do here. Let's see. Alright, okay. That's what I'm looking for. And yeah, let's order a drink. Why not? It's blue. But I think we only really just need the one. Alright. So.
One night with Aria. That's all it'll take.
Yeah, I'm sure. Alright. Merc Recruiter.
I hear you're recruiting.
Why don't you step inside? You'll get paid when the job's done, just like everyone else. Who's next? Well, aren't you sweet? You're in the wrong place, honey. Strippers' quarters are that way.
Excuse you.
Show me yours, tough guy. I bet mine's bigger.
Impressive. So, you're here to fight then?
Sure, if this is the place to go after Archangel.
This is the place. Standard fee is 500 credits each. You get paid when the job's done. If you die, your friends don't collect your share. You'll need your own weapons and armor. Looks like you got that covered. And no, this does not make you a member of the Blue Suns, Eclipse, or the Blood Pack. You are a freelancer, period. Any questions?
Huh.
Why are the mercs working together to take down Archangel?
You haven't been on Omega long, huh? He does everything he can to screw with us. Shipments go missing. Operations are compromised. Every month it gets worse. Tarek and the other bosses are tired of losing credits. And men.
Is he a heavy hitter? How many merc bosses are involved in this attack?
Yeah. Tarek runs the Blue Suns, but all 3 bosses are overseeing the operation. Jarrett's leading the Eclipse and Garm's the head of the Blood Pack. Tarek's in charge, but the others would never say that. I'm surprised they're in on this at all, but I guess getting rid of Archangel is worth it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
What do we do once we're there? How do we get to Archangel?
The mercs will tell you when you get there. Last I heard, they were putting the freelancers into scouting groups. They attack in waves to distract Archangel while we try to get past his defenses.
And we'll ask more about the distraction on the next installment of Let's Play Mass Effect 2, because we're just about out of time, so we'll continue this conversation and find out more about this assault on Archangel when we return. Hope to see you then!